Hey guys, sorry I was having a little bit of problems with my phone was over like all of its memory. Like I've got a terabyte on my phone, plus I pay for Apple for 2 terabytes. So I have 3 terabytes that's completely full of stuff. So I've been trying to put it all on my my external hard drives, so to clear some things up. Anyways, guys, it's nice to see you all. I'm sure you guys are wondering why I'm coming so late, and I am, usually I'm on here about 5 a.m. or earlier, and I decided to go live on my YouTube channel because today is going to be kind of like my fun day. Many of you guys know I have been dealing with a whole bunch of stuff. I've been dealing with my car, which has been the most aggravating as anything can be, as the car has just been, it's been a lot of money trying to fix it, and she's an older car, so I would have never spent this money on it, but it was just one thing that just kept snowballing, and then finally it was so much money we had to get her fixed, otherwise we just put a match to the money and burn it. So it seems like I haven't drove her today, but I drove her several times yesterday, different times of the day. It sat for a while, didn't sat for a while. It all cranked up. The only thing is when I try to crank it from the remote, it won't crank. So I think that I need to reprogram the remote because I had the computer changed. Oh, Mega Queen, it's nice to see you, my love. Are you going to, hey, beautiful yourself. Are you going, I'm going July 11th, New York. I'm going to be there, me and Pam. We've already got everything in July. So hopefully you'll be there. No, you should come. You should come. If you can. If you're through someplace that we can pick you up, I mean, we got everything. So, I mean, it's just a thought, just throwing that out there, girl. If you want to come, we're going to be out there, doing our thing. Okay, perfect. All right, we'll do. I miss you. Me and you got to get together. I finally got my car fixed. I'm ready to get the heck out of Dodge, maybe. I don't know. You might be seeing me in your neck of the woods. I'd be like, you're like, Mega Queen, I need your help. I got to get out of this damn place. Blow this popsicle stand. Right. Crazy. It's just been crazy. But good morning, love. You're up awfully early. I'm getting a pooch. My best friend, because I've been here, I haven't, it's for freaking, I love you too. For like ever, so she's getting me a little dog. This will be cute. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I haven't raised a puppy since I was 20. I don't even know what to do with a puppy. I hope I'm a good puppy mommy. I'm sure I will be. But it's always nerve-wracking. Which is a good thing, right? Which is a good thing. If I'm nervous, then that means I care. So that's the way I look at it. Anyways, guys, we're here because of this beautiful boy right here. This is Sebastian Rogers. He's a 15-year-old autistic boy that disappeared from his home in Hendersonville, Tennessee. He went to bed, and when his mom woke up, he was gone. The problem is he's autistic. He's got, I have raised 5 huskies. I know. I love those dogs. Those dogs are beautiful and happy. I don't know how you do it. With those big dogs. For me, it was the dirt. I couldn't do, like when Vince would put those dogs out in the back, and we got a sand pit back there. It's a huge backyard though. And of course, whatever grass we did have, they ruined. I mean, they tore it up. So it was like, in like Layla was a Labrador, America was a blue-eyed pit bull, red-nosed pit bull. And then of course, Chance was a little miniature pinscher. But you wouldn't believe, they were short hair. They weren't long-haired dogs like I think your dogs have longer hair than my dogs did. And it was like they would literally, like dirt would just collect in their fur. Like they would shake and the freaking backyard would like fall in my living room. It was disgusting. I couldn't handle it. Like Vince was always sweeping. He'd sweep up piles and I'm like, throw it in the backyard. Don't keep taking my yard to the garbage. Like throw the dirt back in the backyard. We're not going to have any backyard left. The dogs were bringing it all in the house. But, the dogs are much easier. I think, and she's already named. She's named Delilah. I like to name my own dogs, but I'll have to see if she's still a Delilah after she gets to me, because I do like Delilah. I do like the Lila name. But does it go with her personality? Is it her true name? I'm sure it is. We'll find out if she's a Delilah when I get her. But that's her name, Delilah. I'm going to be calling her Lila. And then one of my mods reminded me of this. Listen to this. Apparently, Beth Chapman had a dog named Delilah. And I'm like, you guys know Beth Chapman's like one of my idols. All bold, strong women are my idols. Like even Judge Judy. Like, I know me and Judge Judy ain't going to like each other, but I love her style, okay? I love her style, but I know she scares bull. But I love Judge Judy. I loved Beth Chapman. You know, she was a beautiful, beautiful soul that really did try to change people's lives. She did it in a tough love, you know, and sometimes you need tough love, right? Nancy Grace, another lady that I've highly respected over the years. She's a tough cookie. But I like her style. There's just a lot of bold and empowering women that I've met along the way, you know, but Nancy Grace is definitely one that I can't wait to meet, face to face. Like I want to shake her hand and say, "I'm Bullhorn Betty, baby. I'm your biggest fan, right? I'm your biggest fan." I like with Vinnie Politan too. Like I can't wait to meet him face to face. I know he knows about me, and I know I've heard, like we have people that know each other and stuff like that. And so that's another person that I'd like to just go up and shake his hand, like, you know, because I love his work. I love his work. But getting back to Sebastian Rogers. Sebastian Rogers, again, 15-year-old, disappeared from his bed in a locked home and has not been heard or seen from again. The problem is his mom right here, Katie Proudfoot, and his stepfather, Christopher Proudfoot, their story isn't making sense. At first, you know, we all bought into it. Let's be honest. We were all kind of buying into it, whether we were stink-eyeing them or not. We were all listening to their, "Oh, I'm so glad that it's over too. Are you kidding me? That man was evil." And not only that, but you know what? Not only was Chad Daybell evil, but I felt so bad for his children. Like his children were, there's no doubt that to me was cult. When you start talking about dark and being able to abolish, that's culty. That's culty. It's just too culty for me. And, it's one thing to have a following, but to have your following, like, if anybody out there requires unaliving or dark or light, you probably want to question it, okay? I know that you kind of get sucked in. Like, I was looking at some of these people, like that accountant, talking this, and I'm like thinking, you guys are so delusional. Like, who does? How do you think like that? Like, these people are college-educated people thinking like this, and I'm like, what in the hell is wrong with you people? But you don't know until you're in it. And you know, these people got just sucked. I never understand it, but obviously it happens. This is not the first time we've seen people get sucked into stuff like this. But they do. And I don't get it. But yeah, Chad Daybell, it was one of the cases because that was really horrible. I shouldn't say I didn't cover the case. I didn't cover the case intensely because of, just like I didn't cover Gannon Stouck's case intensely. It was a lot harder. There's only 2 children cases that I've covered intensely outside of Sebastian, which is an adolescent, a juvenile, was Quentin Simon and Summer Wells. And I've got to tell you, those 2 cases have been, those were really, really hard for me. And like Gannon Stouck, what happened to him and what I had believed happened to him, it was hard for me to try to cover that. And with JJ and Tylee, it was hard for me to cover that case as well. And I'm glad I didn't. Because if I would have found out the condition of their bodies while we were covering the cases, it would have been awful. It would have been awful. I would have been enraged, without a doubt, enraged. So I cover a few children cases, but they're the ones that get to me the worst. And seeing tears, not seeing, but hearing tears come out of the jurors' eyes, and some of them covering their mouths when they saw, because they had to look at the photos, guys. That's what was really, really hard. When you're a juror on a case like that, like I hope to God that they have some type of counseling program for some of these cases, because I think that the courts should be providing counseling services to people that have to go through these trials, because I can't imagine for somebody like me seeing some shocking evidence that's too too offensive and too crazy for the rest of the public to see. Like, they blocked that off because it's too traumatic for the public. It's too traumatic for the public. If it wasn't too traumatic for the public, they would show the evidence to the public. And the only way you can typically get the evidence to the public is if you're sitting there in the physically at the trial. And again, I hope some of those jurors, because they have to look at it, they've got to look at it again, they've got to dissect everything. They should, I can't even imagine. I hope they provide counseling services. And if they don't, it's something our court systems should probably consider, because that's got to rock the body and rock the soul, personally speaking. No new updates, Michelle, no new updates, but we do have some key details that we need to look at. Okay, here's the first one. I just did an hour-long live on YouTube about the locked doors, because we've been around the whole situation with whether or not Sebastian actually physically walked out the door. And based upon the statements from mom, dad, and stepdad, it seems almost next to impossible for this boy to get up in the middle of the night and walk out of the house without anything. No switch, no phone, no trackable anything, like he would ever even think about that, which I find funny. And the parents tried to make us believe that he did not like his phone and he always kept his phone at home. And that was a polar opposite statement that Seth gave us. Seth believes that it's BS that he walked out the front door. He does not believe it. We don't believe it. And so Merle's mom, which is a subscriber of mine on YouTube, decided to give me like this breakdown of these keyed locks and stuff like that. Let me pull this up, and I'm just going to read it to you guys here real quick. We won't spend as much time on it. We won't spend as much time on it as I did on YouTube, because I've already went over it on YouTube, so you guys can go over there and look at the live from this morning to have a better breakdown of it. But it was basically saying that there is absolutely no evidence, and actually to the contrary, that he actually walked out of the home. But the doors locked by keys would still have the keys in them. But I think the one has the deadbolt on one side and it's keyed on the other. I don't think it's a double keyed lock, but we don't know. Right? They said it's a deadbolt lock that has keys to it. Does that mean it had a turny thing on the inside of the thing, or was it keyed both sides? That's important. And she's saying that if it was keyed, that there should be a key in case of a fire or something else like that. The back door, that she says that there is probably a couch or something like that on the back door. I don't remember hearing the couch comment, but you know, I've overlooked so much because I was looking for specific things at the beginning. And now I'm listening to a lot of other things going on in the case. And so I want to know where we first heard about this couch blocking one of the entry doors. If we can find the couch, if we can find the statements about, I need to listen to that. I need to listen to how that was presented, and by whether Chris said it or Katie said it or both have said it in a couple different interviews. I need to listen to how that whole couch blocking a door was introduced to the people, or how it was presented or couched to the public when it was released by Katie or Chris or whoever released that information. But I need to know about that couch, because that's going to bode into one of my talking points later. And so we're also talking about, there's been some slip-ups, but I don't know where the slip-ups have been. So she's basically saying, Chris said if anyone was on the outside of the door trying to get in, their camera would have shown them through the window. And she states that it was a slip-up and he tried to redirect after that. So I need to find out where that clip is. So once we find out where that clip is, we will go over. Now, here's another thing that I did not think of at the time. Everybody keeps saying there's only one way for Sebastian to have left the home and everything else stay locked, and that's through the front door. But he took the garbage out the night before. What door did he go out of when he took the yeah, he has been slipping a lot. But what door did he take to take the garbage out? Did he come out through the garage? Or did he come out through the front door to take the garbage out? This is important, because we have to remember the garage is the only other door that doesn't need a lock to open and shut. It doesn't need a key to open and shut. So we have the front door that doesn't need a key to open and shut, and we have the garage door that doesn't need a key to open and shut. Why in the world is Chris and Katie adamant that this child was not abducted? They know and have stated emphatically that this child does not like going outside. This child does not like dirt. This child does not leave the home without putting his shoes on. This child is addicted to his Switch. And they try to tell us this child doesn't really like their phone, but Seth says that he makes sure his son keeps it charged and he picks up the phone every time he calls. So they're telling us he wouldn't walk out of the house while telling us he walked out of the house and locked the door behind him. Yet we do have information that leads us to believe that that might be a little quirky as well, because a neighbor saw Sebastian go get the mail. He came out of the house, skipped down the driveway, went to the mailbox, happy as could be, went and grabbed the mail out of the mailbox, back up to the front door, goes to the front door's not locked, or the front door's locked. So he's at the front door. Why didn't he just push in his buttons and open it up and go in? He didn't. The witness states that he went to the door, couldn't get in. Comes down the porch and into the garage and into the house. That is an eyewitness testimony. So if he knows the combination to get in and out of the front door, and Katie and Chris tell us that that's the one door he goes in and out of the most. If he goes in and out of that door the most, and that is the door he exited from, why in the world did he not go in it when he was at the front door? All he had to do was punch in the code and walk in. Why didn't he? Why did he go the opposite way, come back off the porch, and go through the garage? That implies he doesn't remember the code. To me. I could be wrong. I'm just telling you what it means to me. It might mean something to you. Right? It might mean something totally different to you. And why, and this is a last question that I want you guys to ponder on. I'm not going to stay too long on here. I love you guys, but today is my first day out of this house, and I'm going to lap every bit of it up as much as I can because I miss sun, I miss pool, and I miss friends. They changed the code, possibly. Possibly. That's a great, Della, that's a possibility. They changed the code. Yes. Is it Cooper? I can't. Is it Copper 71 or Cooper 71? Cooper has two O's, so it's Copper. Okay. Sorry, my hooked on phonics is broken and I'm tired, so it takes me a little while. And I should have looked at it because of Copperhead, right? Copper 71. Copper 71. It feels fixed, finally. It feels fixed. I drove it yesterday. It didn't feel like it was winding out. I drove it to Palmetto. I drove back here. I just let it sit in the driveway. I got up and I went to another place and came back here, let it sit in the driveway. And then last night I'm like, you know what? I feel like getting out of the house. I've got a car, right? So I get in and go up to the Dollar Tree. Did I need $29 worth of Dollar Tree items? No, I didn't. Did I need about 18 more pieces of makeup? No, I didn't. I've got like literally makeup that's literally in the packaging that I bought like a year ago from the dollar store that probably should be thrown out because it's a year old. And the car seems like it's no chug. No, not. It feels like she's back. Now, today, maybe, God willing, hopefully we get up today, I go out there, crank her up, and she's ready to go hit the road. I pray to God that today we wake up and nothing breaks, right? But I can tell you that it every time I've gotten the car back, we've had a problem within the first 10 or 15 minutes, but by the end of day. So I've driven this car several times yesterday, no problems, no check engine lights, the dashboard lights all off. It drives like a dream. It cranks up quiet. It feels like Black Beauty's back, I've got to do some other repairs of stuff that I want to do, but that's mostly for like the back piece. The black is starting to fade, So I'm going to tape it off and take some spray paint and, freshen her up a little bit. Why not? Why not? Everybody else does it. Drive it like you stole it. There you go. Well, I don't mind getting it. I don't mind getting on it on the interstate. I have a little more ability, especially here in Florida. Like they don't really, I'm not going to get, law enforcement in trouble. So I'll keep my secrets to myself. But, there is a certain limit that we all know that we can go on our interstates for many of us. So that's really what I can open it up. But I did try to open it up ever so slightly on these back roads back here. And it seemed like it got it. It seemed like that my throttle body opened wide up and, you can feel the power, and she didn't stutter, chutter, nothing. She good. So if everything goes well, and I got to tell you, it's like I watched her, like even the, one of the things was when my air compressor came on before, like, because your air compressor is constantly kicking on, and us being in Florida, it's like every 2 minutes, click, 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 my compressor's turning on. And, so you can even feel it when it clicks on, you can feel just that little hum. And it feels good. It feels good. I feel like we got the source of the issue. The guy put it's not the mechanic's fault. It's not like the mechanic knew he got a bad part and put it into the car. But the part was bad that he put in my car, and he's ghosted me. The guy up in Live Oak that I got stranded on the side of the road. He won't even talk to me about refunding the part. Like, I don't expect him to eat the labor. I mean, he put the part in. But he gave me a defective part that was very expensive, that needs to be replaced, that had to be replaced. So I'm a little upset about that, but that's okay. I'll call him and kind of give him leave a very firm message on his voicemail that I'm utmost confident that he will return my phone call after receiving. So we'll work on that, but I don't want, I'm a fair person. So it's like, he did do the work. I can't expect him to eat labor. I wouldn't want somebody to expect me to eat labor on a faulty part that I was not responsible for. But, again, if he purchased the part, I had to reimburse him the part. I want the part reimbursed to me. That's one thing I did not have to eat. And should not have to eat. It was a bad part. It needs to be replaced. It should have given me 150 miles on it at minimum, and it got me 200 miles. No, not good enough. So we'll see how this all works out, but I've got recourse, so I'm not too worried with it. And yes, I will use my recourse for $200-300. Especially if you ghost me, it's a principal thing at that point. It's a principal thing at that point. Then I kind of come for your jugular. But either way, we'll see how it goes. But you know what? At the end of the day, I'm happy about my car. And if I have to eat the money that I lost in Live Oak, it is what it is. It's not the first time I'm going to be screwed out of money. It's not going to be the last time I'm going to be screwed out of money. It's, what do? You try not to get yourself in a position like that again. But, everybody gets themselves in a pickle every now and again. And when they get themselves in a pickle every now and again, they get screwed, right? It happens. It's life. And that's where we are. So I'm gonna hopefully the Live Oak guy, realizes I'm easy to work with and just call me back. But we'll see. But that's really all I have. I wanted to talk about the locks. Oh, there's somebody that's preparing a spreadsheet. The spreadsheet is for all the interviews. So when you guys break down, I'm going to try to make a list and put it up on my community tab of YouTube. Don't expect it today. It's probably going to be tomorrow. But it's going to identify certain things that are on this one gal's spreadsheet. So when you guys are reviewing these interviews, make sure you key in on those questions so we can have those few questions, see how their statements have changed from one interview to another. So I'll get those out so you guys can use those and work for them and have a guide or something like that. But we're still looking for all of Chris's crystal clear statements. We need to find out and what those are for people that need instructions on that. I truly believe that everything that follows Chris making things crystal clear, I truly believe those are things that he has to make sure are known facts because of stuff he's told law enforcement. But I also believe that the majority of those crystal clear statements are lies. So I'm trying to identify and isolate every time Chris has said, let me make this crystal clear, and what information came after him saying, let me make this crystal clear. What did he say? I'm trying to identify each and every one. I think that when we identify those will be telling. So we got that, and then we have so many interviews now, and these interviews are 2 and 3 hours long. No one person could possibly go through all of this. So I figured maybe as a collective group, people will identify certain things. We've already got somebody that's broken down the hands interview. We'll be going over that most likely tomorrow. I'm still working on breaking down the Dutch's interview. Plus we had this one gal that prepared this spreadsheet, and I like the spreadsheet idea, a good place to collect all of our work and put it into one spot so we can really see the changes that have been made in those stories. I really think, if nothing more, it will inform the public of the truth, right? We can't make law enforcement do anything more. We can't make them go out and make arrests. We can't make them, evidence, they can't manufacture evidence. They got to take the evidence, but I can tell you that they have a good idea of what's going on. They just need to build a case. So with that being said, maybe we can't do anything on that realm, but you know what we can do? We can inform our public. We can inform our public of them. We can inform our public with their own statements. We can inform our public of how inconsistent each of their statements are. We can build the case for the public, in the public eye. And it's not to damage this, but again, law enforcement is telling us there's nothing to see over here. So obviously we can't be doing any damage for a criminal investigation when there's no criminal investigation. So I look at it from that lens as well, right? I'm taking law enforcement and what they're telling me and their word salad. Okay. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. All right, guys, we will see you soon. Don't miss anything. I can tell you I'm off to get sunburned. I'm off to get wet. I'm off to have fun. And I'm off so you guys don't have to see me the rest of the day. This is the first in 3 months. I hope you guys enjoy not hearing me for an entire day. But I promise you when I'm done, you're probably going to get me back here this evening. So you're going to hear my mouth eventually. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm sure I'll have a funny story or two. We'll see. We'll see. Guys, you go to make it a great day. God bless each and every one of you. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe. But more importantly, we want to be kind to one another. On this platform, on that platform, just be kind. We got enough douchebags in the world, okay? There's enough of them, and they don't look like us. They look like them. So there's that. God bless.